Hey everyone, this is DyanaRozay. Welcome to my channel. I have a quick commentary for you, maybe not so quick, on Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is the third and final part of the season 5 or 4B reunion, whatever you guys would like to call it. I do apologize from the bottom of my heart that I did not get on live last night. I was traveling. I'm actually in Chicago. This is my hotel room. Here are all those fancy buildings. I will be here until I'm going to leave later today, but I wanted to get you guys the review because you deserve it. Okay. It was pretty good. There was a lot of stuff that went on, and I don't know if I would have been able to explain it completely in a live. So I'm glad I'm going to give you a recorded version first, and then we will get on live later to discuss the breakdown of everything. Okay. Yeah, a lot was revealed this episode. First of all, Destiny is a liar and the truth is not in her. Number two, Martell is not over Melody. At least he was not in October when they filmed this reunion. And number three, Carlos cried more than everybody on the cast since season 1 all the way through season 5. Okay. I've never seen anybody with that much waterworks, but he was crying like nobody's business. Okay. Before I get started, you guys go ahead, hit that like, subscribe, and the notification bell because that will help others find me. And as always, I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. Okay. So let's get started. You guys, if you ever come to Chicago, I think there's something called the Disabled Museum. They have this interactive I'm sorry, I'm telling y'all this in the middle of the review, but it just came to me. They have this interactive thing where you can go in and it's like you are on the March on Washington. You put on these little ocular glasses, these things, and you can literally look around and see the monument. Everything is life size. There's people walking up beside you. It's amazing. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. I can't wait to see it again. But you guys, anyway, let's get to the next one. Sorry, I'm bringing that up now, but it is what it is. It's live recording. I'm not taking anything out. If you guys hear traffic or drums because somebody was beating the drums out there, just go with the flow. Okay, go with the flow. Let's get started. Let's talk about the power of editing because there was a lot of editing in this episode. A lot of things were taken out. A lot of things that we saw in previews did not show up in the episode. And then even some things that we heard about didn't show up in the episode. The first scene with Kimmy, usually when they pick up where they left off, they will repeat what they, a little bit of what we missed. We didn't get that when she was like, I think Destiny, or not Destiny, excuse me, Marceau said, don't go after Kimmy, because y'all remember, Kimmy said, this might not be the platform for you, Destiny. You might not, reality TV isn't your thing. You don't like to talk about your life, period. And I guess, Kimmy's like, I'm tired of carrying you. Tisha's not, and I'll tell you guys why, but Tisha's not tired of carrying her. But Kimmy said, I'm done. They didn't pick up with that scene, and I felt like, what's going on? Kimmy seemed a little more compassionate in what she was trying to tell Destiny. However, Destiny still wasn't buying it. She didn't like Kimmy, and she doesn't like anybody for that matter, basically telling her to grow the hell up. So she has a problem with that. There was also a scene between Destiny and Melody where Destiny says, I'm going to tell the truth. I know the truths about you, the truths I hold about you, right? And she threatened to say some things. Well, they didn't show that part. You all remember Maurice is like, don't do that, Destiny. Don't do that, Destiny. Oh, he makes me sick. And then there was this big rumor after the season 5 reunion had wrapped where they were like, someone brought on the puppets, and we found out it was Tisha. And then they said there was a scene with Martell where he has an emotional fit on stage. He runs off the stage, and we didn't get to see him run off stage, but we did get to see the aftermath of that. Okay, you guys remember during the first episode of the reunion, we get those behind the scenes footage where Carlos King goes into everyone's room. He went into Martell's room and he's on the phone with Sheree. Carlos asked if he can speak to Sheree. And he asked Sheree, are you in love with Martell? And she was like, Carlos, I'm not fooling with you, or something to that nature. And Mel said, all right, girl, you deserve a ring for that. Now, everybody who was watching it knew it was BS. Like, we knew he was putting it on thick. What? Please. We've been saying that this relationship was fake from the beginning. But Carlos pretty much brought that home when later in this episode, the third episode, he has a conversation with Martell where Carlos starts crying and he says, I think you're still in love with Melody. Well, child, just a couple of hours ago, you asked Sheree if she was in love, and you played off this whole thing with Martell and saying, he's going to give her a ring. So that was stupid, Carlos. But it let us know what we needed to know. So Martell definitely had a situation, and he forgot to play it cool. And the whole time, Martell has been sitting there, rubbing his eyes like this, pinching his eyes, doing this when people are talking, but really staying what I thought was like kind of calm and collected, when truthfully, he was just an erupting volcano, okay? He appeared calm until everything exploded. I'm gonna tell you guys all about it, okay? So let's get started. Let me put up a pic. Y'all know, like I said, we usually start where we left off, and it would have been with Destiny and Kimmy. But they wrap up, and now it is Destiny and Melody. Let me get Destiny's stank face, because she has a stank face, y'all know. So Carlos says, what went down between y'all? He looks at Melody and he says, Mel, we met Destiny, meaning the producers. The producers met Melody through a friendship that you and her had, but it all seemed to decline after she divorced her husband. What happened to you guys? What is going on? Mel says, well, Destiny said something that was untrue in one of her interviews, and Melody didn't actually explain it right, but I remember, so I'm going to give you guys the facts. Destiny had said that Melody's mom was a liar. Do y'all remember that? It started because Destiny said that Melody and her didn't talk. Melody said there was a time where we weren't talking, but I didn't think things were horrible. In fact, Destiny had called me, a couple of weeks down the line and said to me, so if all that happened, it would have been, Destiny made it seem like I don't know, right after filming, she stopped talking to her right after they wrapped the reunion and all that stuff, right? But she said, Destiny called me and said there was an issue between her and her ex regarding her son. Melody had her mom in the car, drove to her house, and Melody said that she went in, sat with Destiny, talked to her, prayed with her. Destiny said that's not how it happened, that Melody and her mother came over, stood on her porch, and prayed with her, right? But Mel's mom said it didn't happen that way. And Destiny made some comment like, they was there for maybe 5 minutes. Mel's mom said, I was in that car for a long time. It was not 5 minutes. And I never went on the porch and prayed with her. And Destiny said, your mother is a liar. That was disgusting. It was disgusting. But do you guys remember that? That was the start of the real warfare. That's when things got completely disrespectful for Melody. That's what she's saying. That's when things got completely disrespectful for her. But she says, Carlos then asked Destiny, what does she believe broke up the friendship? And Destiny says that Melody basically lied and said that she had overheard a conversation between her and Tisha. And she said, she was like, it's a 360 because it happened right here in LA, on this reunion stage and blah, blah, blah. Then she says, I want to know from Melody what she heard. And now she's acting like she's bucking up, like she's threatening Melody. I know you didn't hear anything, so tell me what you heard. Now, she really shouldn't have asked that because she still ended up looking like a clown. And I'll just tell y'all why. So, okay, she said, tell me what you heard. Melody said, you can keep wanting because we've already had this conversation. So I'm not doing it again with you, right? Destiny says, I'm not going to let you play in my face. And Melody says, this was great. Melody says, don't even talk to you, sweetie. And if y'all remember, this is the first shots fired with Mel toward Destiny. Because if y'all remember, Destiny ran off the set when they were at Jalen's housewarming party because she was calling Stormy sweetie. And Stormy said, no, you don't get to call me sweetie. Stormy, Stormy. And everybody was like, damn, Destiny can't take anything. She wasn't able to handle herself. Well, she called her sweetie. Destiny thought she was coming back at her, calling Melody sweetie. And this is when Melody coughs. And if y'all remember at Stormy's peace party, Destiny did the same BS. So Mel was getting her back. When Destiny started talking, Melody turned to the side and coughed in her hand. And I have to tell you, I was like, Melody is killing it. This is how you handle a reunion. Okay, you got to know when to hit the digs. Well, I'm going to tell you who recognized them digs. This one right here, Tisha. Tisha is smarter than Destiny in this episode right now. Tisha is trying to cover Destiny's ass because when Destiny gets upset, she wants to pounce. She doesn't know how to come back at people verbally. She's just not that girl. So Tisha says, first she whispers, someone needed a storyline, which is completely laughable. Carlos entertains it. What did you say, Tisha? Who needed a storyline? She repeats it. Now Destiny feels like she's being protected. So she's giggling and lifting her eyebrows, but we all know it's BS, right? Let's see what I have in my notes here. Tisha and Marceau, y'all remember, couldn't answer one question when it was directly asked of them. They were completely deflecting. But now, because Tisha needs her homegirl to stay on the show, because Destiny was threatened, okay? Her job was threatened on this show. But because of that, Tisha has to jump in and say, oh. Then Tisha says, I told Destiny, this is what she claims Mel overheard. I told Destiny to check on Mel because she was looking sad. But we know that Tisha doesn't have any empathy or sympathy for Melody. Just a couple of hours ago, she brought out those raggedy ass puppets. She totally was defending her mom right up until the very last breath. So she definitely didn't say anything on the reunion fact. She definitely didn't tell Destiny to check on Melody because she felt sad for her. Not true at all. And Carlos says, well, Mel, do you receive that she felt sad? She said, not at all. I don't receive it at all because she knows what kind of person she was. If anything, Destiny and Tisha were laughing at what happened on that reunion stage, the garbage that both Martell was saying to Melody and the garbage that Carlos was letting Martell say. That was what they were doing. And if Melody didn't want to repeat it, that's fine. But Destiny thought she was going to be cute. Tell me what you heard, Mel. Interesting, right? Y'all let me know if y'all think that's the case. And I'll also say this. Tisha and Melody had no beef in season 3. None. They were completely okay, simpatico with each other. Tisha brought the beef to the stage, which means that Tisha made Melody her storyline in season 4. Gotcha. Okay. But anyway, we'll go back to the next one. Destiny then, at this point, let me make sure I got my stuff together. Oh, Mel says that she doesn't believe Tisha at all. She don't believe that she felt sad for her at all. Tisha says, I do, Mel. You're a beautiful girl. You just have a dark soul. And this sounds so made up, like these were just lines she forgot to say. You have a dark soul and you're a devil in sheep's clothing. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Melody says, well, honey, you should be happy. I'm no longer in your life, okay? If all of these things are true, then God, you should be thanking God at this point. Tisha says, I'm not happy about it. I'm not thanking God. Now, why she turned this around like this makes no sense when she had been attacking Melody the entire time. Now she wants to come across like she's being sympathetic. And I didn't understand this at all. other than the energy has completely changed on the stage, right? Either way, this is what she says, and she's doing it solely to get after Melody because she's not done with her, and to help Destiny because Destiny doesn't know how to fight for her damn self, even though she likes to act like she's everybody else's bodyguard. Oh, I have to get in between Melody and Martell. BS. Okay. And to go even further, y'all, if Tisha really said, go check on your friend, then when Mel knocked on the door of the hotel room and she said, I can hear y'all's conversation, y'all should keep it down, then why wouldn't Destiny say, Mel, come in, let's talk, are you okay? She didn't do any of that. What Destiny said she did was scream down the hall after Mel because Mel was walking away, and she was like, girl, what did you hear? Ha 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 ha. Her and Tisha were doing that. And then later she said, did you hear me and my aunt talking about you like a dirty dog, right? So it doesn't even align to the BS that Tisha wanted us to believe. That's how you know that she was only doing it to get a dig at Mel. Let me know if y'all think the same in the comments. When Carlos asked Destiny if she thought that Melody had a dark soul, Destiny says she does think that. Carlos asked for examples. Well, what did she do to make you say that? Then this silly heifer says, well, and pay close attention to this, guys, because Destiny forgets the crap that she says. Destiny 100% forgets her own crap. Destiny says, well, she said that she gave me $6,000 for a light bill. They run a clip, okay, of Melody on Carlos King's, whatever it's called, Carlos After Dark or Nightcap with Carlos. They run that clip, and Melody said that she had given her $5,000 or $6,000 after seeing a shut-off notice. She didn't say she gave it to her for the light bill, but I do want to say that this is in response to Destiny calling her a master manipulator. Now, here's where things get loopy and shows you exactly what's wrong with Destiny. It was actually Destiny who was giving amounts. She was given the breakdown and everything, like what was gave, when it was gave, during an interview. If you guys remember, Melody never gave us a dollar amount first. She just said, if you thought I was a bad friend, then why, I gave you this money. She said money. She didn't say an amount at all. But Destiny shared it like, well, when me and my ex-husband were going through it, I needed, I was strapped for cash. I had blew through my savings, right? I blew through my savings. She said my husband at the time expected me to pay half of everything. I had blown through my savings to get Madani up, and he still expected me to pay half. Destiny was acting like she was completely destitute. She had just had the baby. Her business is failing, was barely open. She couldn't keep anything going, right? What else did she say? She said a whole bunch of crazy stuff, y'all. But then Carlos is looking at her like, what? And she says, Mel tried to paint the picture that I was needy and broke. You painted the picture, Destiny, that you were needy and broke when you said, I blew through my savings. I quit my job. My store that I had just opened, I couldn't keep open because of COVID. My husband wasn't giving me any money, and he still expected me to pay him half of the bills. I was like, this girl, her brain function is wild. Yikes, yikes, yikes. You guys let me know in the comments if y'all remember it that way too. But yeah, then she goes on to say, Melody made me lose a business deal. She's still trying to hit Melody with that. That woman was your friend and you told her this, that, and the other. But Carlos switches gears and he says to Melody, Mel, is the reason why you guys are no longer friends because you think that Destiny was too chummy with Martell? So all those rumors that's been going around about Destiny and Martell, Carlos has heard. And even though the mess didn't play out on the show, he definitely gave it to us as a part of the reunion questions, right? And Melody says, well, okay. And I remember her making this face right here. She did call him at 1 and 5 a.m. the other day. So if it filmed in October, she literally was like the other day. Both Destiny, y'all, both Destiny and Martell. Martell makes this face like, what are you saying? Like, he is so shocked. And it felt so performed. Destiny rubs her hand through her hair. She's looking crazy. Where are you going with this? Is what Destiny says. She doesn't say she didn't call him. She says, where are you going with this? Wow. 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 That's all I'm going to say. And she never corrected it either. Never did she correct it. Did she correct it? Her and Martell start talking to each other now. That's when Destiny makes all the threats about Melody sleeping with other people. And the way they cut the scene, they made it seem like Melody was jumping or nervous, but you can tell that that wasn't the case. At least it didn't appear that way to me. But y'all let me know in the comments if y'all thought so. I just didn't like the way they cut it because it really didn't feel like it was a part of the scene where Destiny, like if Destiny made a comment or asked a question, it really felt disjointed. So you guys let me know if y'all thought the same because I didn't like it the way they did it that way. Anyway, Destiny makes her little raggedy comments about, I guess she's accusing Melody of sleeping around on Martell, but at this point, you're still not answering the question. The question was, or the statement was, you were calling Martell at 1 and 5 in the morning. Destiny's response to that is, oh, is that when you hacked his phone? Is that when you hacked his phone? Okay, that's how she said it. Melody's like, I didn't hack anybody's phone. And then she tries to explain it. Martell ends up saying, Melody has an answering service, and it was really Melody hacking my phone. But we all saw Martell looking like a lovesick puppy. Melody does not look like she has any interest in anything that Martell is doing with his phone at this point. But we already was told that Melody filed a police report, so we know something else is going on, right? Let me see what else I got for y'all in regards to pictures. Oh, and I should say the entire time all of this stuff is going on, the cameraman kept jumping to pictures of Maurice, like Maurice's face looking at Martell. He kept a steady eye on Martell, and it's really weird that even the cameramen know there's something wrong with whatever is going on between Maurice and Martell. It's something. I'm just going to put it like that. What else do I have here? So after she says that, after she goes through the whole hack the phone thing, Destiny says, let me make sure I got this right, y'all. I'm so sorry. I actually am reading these notes on my phone, and my phone, I lost my place. Okay. So then Melody says in the 13 or 14 years that she has been married to Martell, she said it's interesting that the only time she saw Destiny was, when they started filming. Like Destiny came in to get this job as an actress, right? As a reality TV actress, even though she doesn't enjoy the job. Clearly, everybody is trying to figure out what the hell she's doing there. But then Destiny says, oh, Melody also says that her and Destiny bonded over their divorces, over their, relationship trauma, and that Mel found it odd that Destiny knew all these horrible things that Martell had did to her. And she would be on the phone almost like taunting her, girl, your ex is calling in, and da-da-da-da. Melody was like, it was just not a headspace I wanted to be in. I'm going to keep my peace. You and I aren't friends, right? Destiny says, well, if I stop being friends with Martell, then I have to stop being friends with you too. Goofball. And she has a smirk on her face. All I have to say is she needs to figure out what day They take out the trash and put herself on the curb. Destiny is garbage. She is garbage. Then she says, y'all, she says, I've known Martell since I was 15 years old. And the reason why she didn't know me until we started filming is because I was a single woman and I was not going to call this woman's husband. What the what? What? I was a single woman and I wasn't going to call this woman's husband. So now you're saying that Melody and Martell isn't married anymore. So you would call him at 1 and 5 in the morning. Now it's not a problem. I want you to know that that's still breaking code. That is still about as raggedy and trashy as you can get. And she absolutely just kind of admitted, like she's trying not to deny it, but she's thinking she's poking back at Mel with a threat. Like, if you say anything more about me, I'm going to tell everybody what I know about you. But it shows that she is of low character, of low moral. Like, you really can't be a friend to Destiny at all, ever. Because Destiny, even though she acts like, I have a friend from 20 years ago. Well, what is she? What's wrong with her? What's wrong with her? Because you're horrible. You're a horrible friend, period. Anyway, we all know this. Destiny's not very smart and she is exhausting. And Carlos King actually ripped Destiny a new one in his review for this third episode. Again, go back and watch it. He said that Destiny loves to talk about how she gets a bad edit. However, he said it's not the editing, child. It's not the editing, child. He complained about her putting her entire life on IG, but not doing anything, not being willing to share anything when they're filming. And he said the producers don't like it at all. So everybody's paying attention to you. They're listening to the things you say on IG, but you fail to bring it to the show, a show that pays you for your reality, right? He also said that he gets tons of audition tapes, tons of audition tapes. Like, baby, you are replaceable. Okay. He said that's how he found Tiffany and Lewis. So Tiffany and Lewis did not, even though they came on the show as a friend of Melody, Melody did not know them. They were all on the same page with the group. Okay. So I'm mentioning that because there's a question that I'm going to answer for someone who emailed me yesterday. But the other thing that he said was that Kimmy filmed a 15-hour day and just took it in stride, never complained once, even though she was going through chemo and, emotional, mental, all those traumas, right? He said, however, people were on the set and then he tried to clean it up like, this isn't necessarily Destiny. This is anybody. Child, it's Destiny, because that's who we're talking about. He said people were on the set and complaining about what they would and would not do, like they had rank. Well, it completely contradicts everything that she had said in an earlier interview this week, where she was like, I didn't know I was fired. Carlos pulled me aside and said, people want to know more about your story. Carlos was not that forgiving. And I believe, you know how Carlos is, he'll hear those interviews and come back and say stuff. Destiny literally was like I said before, co-signing. Melody and Carlos are, the Wizard of Oz, basically. They're in a room with the curtain closed, making these edits and making me look bad so that they can lift Melody up. But he was like, he hopes Destiny is listening to the show, that she watches it, and everybody else on the set for that matter, because the only people that have given all of their life to the show, and that is what reality TV is, that's what he said, is Melody and Martell. Just an FYI. So that was interesting. Okay. I just want to clean this up too. Someone said that Tiffany, who came on the show, y'all know, third season, and Destiny was fighting Mel, saying, you're taking up for her, you her bodyguard now, and all that stuff. Just to clarify, Tiffany was brand new to the entire group. Part of the reason why she was brought on is because the group was fractured. Tisha was fighting Kimmy. She was also into it with Melody. Martell was in the best of places with Marceau. And because they couldn't go to each other and get those stories naturally, Tiffany and Lewis was brought on to kind of intercept all of that and help people engage. And the thing that Destiny was doing that Melody was trying to stop her from doing was she was bucking up to Tiffany. And anytime Tiffany had an interaction with Kimmy or with Tisha, she was like, shut up. Don't do that. Stop asking that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. She was interfering with the scenes that would have happened naturally. Because Tisha and Kimmy, they'll at least engage and act out the scene. Destiny didn't want them to do that. And that is why Melody said, stop, you're being a mean girl. Stop being so aggressive. Destiny, you're not even like this for real. Just pull back. Who else told her to pull back? Miss Marlene, when she was trying to argue with her son. And she said, you're not Mrs. Holt. Pull back. But Destiny doesn't know how to do that. Okay. Martell ends up denying that he hacked Melody's phone. I told y'all that. Denied that he hacked Melody's phone, and actually implied that Melody was trying to hack his phone, right? And Destiny rode so hard with him that at one point Melody calls him a liar, and Destiny whispers just loud enough to be picked up on the mic, actually, he's not good at lying. Actually, he's not good at lying. What? When women do that, there's something more going on, period. Destiny is 40 years old. There's no way you let those kind of words escape your mouth, ever, ever, ever. She is like coleslaw 2 right now. That's how it feels. When we would watch the other one in those videos, he would never lie to me. I know how to check him. He couldn't play me the way he plays her. Turns out he did. Turns out he can. Turns out he will. Child, either way. Let's get on to the next scene. How long have I been on? Already 30 something minutes. Okay. So Martell then calls Melody pathetic. And Melody said, you're pathetic. Okay. She said, you're pathetic, and so are your ugly shoes. Ciao. And then the cameraman zoomed in on those shiny patent leather slip-ons, and Martell said nothing. Okay. I think Maurice gave a look at this point. It was awful. But yeah, Melody was, I felt like Melody was on it for this reunion. She did not take any prisoners, baby. Okay. Now we get Destiny off the stage. Thank God. She's gone. Stormy's gone. They asked Stormy a question like, are you having these same problems with Melody? She was like, I can't speak on it. Me and Mel don't have them problems. Martell was like, retreat now. And she was just like smiling and, acting like there was no problem between them. At the end of the day, we'll see what's going to happen with Stormy next, but Melody seems to be filming with a lot of people. Carlos, in his review, said that he had to fly down, had another emergency meeting, it sounds like, gave them all the pep talk they needed to hear, because he said they've only been filming 2 weeks. And he was like, you can see the magic back on the screen. So we'll see. Now we have Martell and Melody segment, right? So they're having a conversation. Carlos starts with the custody hearing. He says, with the custody hearing, he was like, tell me what's going on. You filed for full custody. Melody was like, you changed the custody order. You're trying to change the custody order. You and I had joint custody. That's what we agreed to. Martell says everything is perfect with Melody being a mother. She's not a bad mom. Everything's perfect. Good mother. My kids love her. Never had any complaints. I have a problem with men keeping my children. That man happens to be Mel's brother. That man also happens to be gay. Okay? Martell says Melody only met him when she was a teenager. Melody is 37 now, turned 37 in November. What? You act like Melody met him yesterday. He's family, and he was someone that you also knew. So if you are implying there's something wrong, then what did you see? He said nothing. Because you've changed the relationship, Martell. You do realize he admits on the stage everything that went wrong happened because of me. I regret it, but he's putting this woman in a place she can't. You guys know what he's doing. Period. The bottom line is Marcus is a retired educator. He still works with children because I believe Melody said that he helps children learn how to swim, right? Got that big pool in his backyard. Never had an accusation. Stellar record, right? Stellar record. He's qualified to watch the kids, right? Again, Martell's never said that anything's happened. He just feels like Melody should do what he tells her to do. At one point in the conversation, he goes, she called Marcus to watch the kids for 2 days, and I was available. And I didn't even know she was going out of town. Ding, 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 ding. You didn't know she was going out of town. You don't need to know she's going out of town, ever. And that is exactly why Mel said, if Martell was a different person, I would let him, but I know this is about controlling me. You're worried about where she goes, and you shouldn't be. And you let those words slip out of your mouth because the truth always comes out. It was ugly, but you said it. Okay. Let's get to the next one. Mel says to him, listen, my problem with co-parenting with Martell is the person I'm co-parenting with. And Martell makes the comment about, her having 24 babysitters. She said, I don't, but I tell you what, when I'm ready to drop those receipts, I will. I'm just not ready to talk about it right now. Martell puts his hands over his eyes because he, again, is a volcano erupting. And that's how that part ends. The next time we have the conversation, because editing is seamless here. However, the energy has changed amongst all the couples. Marceau and Tisha are holding hands. And Marceau, where is my picture, child? Marceau is deeply troubled. Look at him. He kept his eyes on Martel and Melody this entire part of the scene. I have to say, I'm the first to say, I don't like Marceau. I don't like how he engages with Melody, but he was nervous. Like there was something there, like concern. The way he was looking at Melody, there's tissue being passed down. He's passing the tissue to Martel. Martel, again, is not in a good place. But Carlos starts, and he starts the waterworks right away. Martel, let me make sure I get the right conversation. Martel, I think you're troubled inside. Troubled, like you need to see somebody professionally. You are troubled inside here, okay? You're troubled, and I think it's because you're still in love with Melody. And I was like, oh my God, this is really happening. Child, look at Kimmy's face when he does that. It took everybody by surprise. Melody starts crying too. But again, you guys, this has to be in the aftermath of Martell storming off of the stage and doing whatever happened in the back. I believe it was Chef Don. I had brought you that conversation about what happened with Chef Don. He said that something bad happened. And this must have been when he returned to the stage. Because like I said, Maurice and Kimmy still stayed like a good 3 feet apart from each other. But Kimmy was shocked that Carlos started crying. And I don't know how close Tisha and Marceau were to this whole thing. I don't know if Marceau had to help break something up, but I do know that Marceau was troubled. Go back and watch it if you guys missed that. He was sincerely troubled. Mel is crying. She's hurt. She's hurt about whatever it was that happened. Carlos says that the reason for his um, outburst is how he refers to it, is because he has to know Melody is his family. He has regrets. He wants his family back. He wants his kids back. With everything that we saw in Destin. And again, complete 360 from, oh, Sheree's on the phone and Martell asked Sheree, said she was going to get a ring. Fake, fake, fake. Okay. Martell says that he does have regrets, that he thought he had a perfect marriage. At one point, we had a perfect marriage, a perfect marriage. He said he misses his kids having both of his parents. And it's in these moments that I always think Martell forgets he has another child and he wishes that he could turn back the hands of time. He'll never be able to do that, right? Carlos implies, after Martell finishes all that up, Carlos implies that Melody, like, you can take some blame too, Melody. I shouldn't do that for Carlos's voice. My bad. You should take some blame too, Melody. He implies that Melody was chasing her career and possibly neglecting Martell. That's the reason why Martell had to step out. But Melody checked him and put him all the way back in his place. She said, I never neglected Martell. Never. I cooked, I cleaned, I was pregnant damn near every year. So him saying we didn't have sex is also a damn lie. Okay. She said they went on 2 vacations a year as a family, 2 vacations a year. That's how they were balling. Okay. But she did give in just a little bit. She said, if I had to do anything different, I wish I would have listened more. However, that doesn't mean I wasn't listening at all, because that would be a lie too. Okay. When I tell you, you got to be a certain kind of smart to not let people pigeonhole you into stuff like that. Melody is smart. She is smart. And Martell never argued it, didn't say a word, kept his cool, shut the hell up like he was supposed to. Okay. And Melody even said she never thought that she would be in a place where she wouldn't like the man she had kids with. That was a little painful. And that's how that scene ends. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that too. And the last scene is Kimmy and her health journey. I have to say the one thing that stood out for me, because we've heard this story a couple of times before, is that she said, because a lot of people felt like she was exploiting, her sickness and things like that. I personally did not feel that way. I was happy that she was able to share her story and that she found the space to do it, because I don't think people understand how deeply affected Black women are. We don't get tested. We We think it's going to pass us, and that's not always the case. And we can catch it and, continue to live really great lives. But she said that she was happy that she had a chance to share it because it kept her in front of her situation. Otherwise, she would have just been at home thinking about it, depressed, locked into her house. And she said getting out and knowing that she had a cause allowed her to be as open as she could about it. So it sounds like she was really happy that she was able to do it. She cried a little bit and said, I know that I'm going to come out on the other side of this okay. And if I could just help one person, but I'm sure she helped more than that. Okay. I am sorry that made me kind of teary-eyed, but that's pretty much how the scene ends. Carlos shares that his mother also passed away, but his mother also lost her life to cancer. And I did not want to cry. I'm so sorry, y'all. But that's how the show ends. You guys let me know what y'all think in the comments, okay? Like the video, subscribe to my channel, hit your notification bell, and we're going to talk on live a little bit later, probably tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening, okay? And I'm sorry, I was a crybaby there, but it really did kind of touch me that she was, so open about everything. But I will catch you all on the next one, okay? Bye-bye.